going to be using the Mojo dialer, triple line dialer today. I do have my Ethernet cable hooked up to make sure that there is no lag time. I actually was testing it earlier and I could tell there was some lag time because I was kind of getting to the end of people's voicemails where it says, please leave a message beep, but it was just the ending. So whenever that happens, it's primarily because of the Wi-Fi and you are asking the Mojo servers to do a lot for you. You have to remember it's just technology. It's not going to be perfect. Thankfully, I'm used to Mojo and quite honestly prefer Mojo. I'm actually a broker. I own my own real estate company, been in business for over 4 years total. So I actually got my broker's license at the beginning of 2025. And just kind of, I'm building out a new modern way to have a business without having agents, without having a big brokerage. Just kind of myself, I guess. I'm not really doing like a team per se. It's myself, and then my husband's starting to get involved and doing things here and there, and then I have a transaction coordinator, real estate attorney, lenders I work with, cleaning crews, just kind of people that can help support my customers, I should say, because in Florida we're transaction brokers, to prepare their homes and really, get them sold. So I am, I guess, kind of doing that. I'm sure one day I may end up hiring an assistant once I hit certain thresholds. Last year I did about 101,000 GCI profit margin, 24%. And excuse me, not profit margin, expenses was about 24%. So profit margin was 76. Actually, my goal for this year is not just to make more, but also reduce that percentage of expenses. I think a lot of people in general, when they're running a business, no one really teaches them. But more importantly, you have to make sure that your expenses are low. Dang it, another one that's for sale. That is 3 in a row, actually. It's okay. The good news is people are picking up, and the other good news is that people are selling. And if I kind of hit the right one, then that means the neighbor or someone is thinking about selling. I forget who it was told me, and there's some kind of statistic like, I guess if one person's selling, the neighbors are also considering selling. And so if you do like circle prospect around a property that just sold or that is for sale, you have a higher likelihood of finding someone who wants to sell. And then when you start calling like this in circle prospecting and knowing that some houses are for sale, you kind of have a good feeling, ooh, I'm going to run into somebody who's thinking about selling. So holding myself accountable. I know a lot of people talk about accountability partners and being good. It's important to, uh, you know, someone else can't hold you accountable. If you have the 12-week year book, I do actually have that in my link, so you can check it out. I've read it multiple times. And on there it says no one can hold you accountable, which is funny. He goes, you can hold an apple. Oh, the distraction is real. And I got kicked out of Mojo because Mojo isn't 100%, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and get logged back in here. Nothing's going to stop me. I like to group lists for if you do a neighborhood search on Mojo, I like to group people according to their neighborhood. So I know exactly where I'm calling. And if somebody is like, I've had people go, do you even know where you're calling? I'm like, well, I'm calling this neighborhood. Why do you not live there? And then they're like, oh, maybe the triple line dialer is too much right now for, Mojo. But I was getting some good pickups, so I kind of don't want to stop that's the whole point of today's video, doing the triple line dialer. But see what happens when you do the triple line dialer? It's not the 100% greatest. Oh my God, I got fantastic news. I'm going to be closing this week on a property that I've been dealing with for 15 months maybe. So I swear some of these deals that I have are long, but I c the you have such a deep relationship with the clients and they love you and they'll do anything to keep going to get it to the closing table, and it's kinda like you're fighting and you're like, gonna fight with you, like, "We're gonna sell this house," and they're like, "Yeah, Adela, help us, please don't leave us." I've had a couple of those. Um, so, yeah, I just got news and I was super excited, but I gotta stay focused. Oh my god, what stellar news. Ah, so amazing. Um, where was I saying? Oh, Bernie Gallerini, man, what an inspirational man. I did his free boot camp, and once a month, he does a 30-minute little Zoom where he just talks, and I'm like, "Ooh, I wanna listen to every word he has to say." Um, and it was about mindset, and on that was for February 17th, and then March 17th, he's doing a, client acquisition of his little shorts, but the reason I bring it up is because there was, he has, I think, like 20 people that work at his brokerage as the team, one team, and there's a husband and wife that are there almost every day cold calling, prospecting, and Bernie said, "We either take calls where people know us or we make calls to get people to know us, who we are." I was like, "Wow, what a saying." But in that video, he was interviewing the wife, and the wife he was like, "Where's your husband over there prospecting?" She's like, "Yeah, he's there every day." And he said, "It's about 4:00 PM." And it was about 4:00 in the afternoon and they were still prospecting. He said, "Yeah, you're either prospecting or you're going on appointments, you're taking listings, you're doing showings, you're, negotiating contracts. So unless you're doing those activities, like you better be prospecting." And he said, "How often do you prospect?" And the wife said, "We call it for about 4 to 5 hours." They're on track to do or that working towards 75 sales for 2025. I was like, damn, here I am trying to hit 20. And they're like, "Oh, we're going to hit 75, the two of us." I'm like, "Okay, so split that. Even if they split that in half, that's 30. I can't do the math, like 36, 38. Um, and I'm here trying to do 20. I'm like, wow. I mean, I did 10 last year. Wow, he was just very bothered and definitely not by me. He was not even listening to me. And that's okay. Next contact. I'm like, okay, he's definitely not paying attention. But he was cool. He was like, "I want you to have a great day." I'm like, "You as well." I would say the hardest part when you're scaling, at least from my experience, and I don't think I could have personally scaled so quickly and scaling right now if I hadn't learned to control my emotions and just strictly focus on cold calling consistently for 2 hours, 4 to 5 days a week. Um, because until you can get that in check, you're not going to be able to go to the next step. And the next step is being able to handle multiple listings at once. Last year, even though did 10 transactions, what was very difficult for me is it was a roller coaster where I had nothing, and then I had five, and then I had nothing, and then I had five, and then I had nothing. And when I was dealing with those two moments where I had five and five, I felt like I was underwater because they just all came at me at once, which was very overwhelming. But now I've decided I really figured out, okay, Mondays I try and do as much as I possibly can, content, and late at night I do like video editing for the listing tours that I do. Um, And then just kind of like reviewing the pictures whenever I can because I am very particular on how the pictures or the images look on the MLS. So if there's like knives and the cutlery thing on the listed, delete. Man, I'm getting a lot of pickups that are, their properties are already for sale. This is kinda starting to get old. No, it's okay because even if I were to pull in neighborhood search from Mojo, they're not going to give me the ones that are not listed, but more importantly, I think it's smart that once you have, someone's information on your screen and they answer, just click that little Zillow button right above Google. That is a button. Most people don't realize that. They think it's just like a little logo, but you can actually click on Google Maps to know its location or click on Zillow. Um, um, you'll actually see if it's for sale. And if it's for sale, and then I just shit, that guy's for sale too. All right, delete. Mm, all right. Where was I? What was I saying? Oh, yeah. It's I mean, listen, I'm not a student of Ricky Carruth, but I definitely take certain advice from him, um, especially his older content, his older material, where he was just kind of like in his old office with his assistant behind him. But I remember him saying, what was it he was saying? Like, he specifically just calls in the morning, and then after lunchtime, he can do whatever he want, with his time. Texts, phones, emails, and just let people know. So I'm actually starting to get used to either putting my phone on do not disturb, putting it in another room. And when I say that, because I have 2 phones, this one and this one that I'm calling on, which has really helped out with my family life and just, like, sanity. And if somebody responds, like in this case, I have messages, then I just text them like, "Hey, can I call you in an hour? Can I call you after 12?" My gosh, she's also for sale. Delete. Um, sorry, this triple line dollar is going so fast. I'm telling you, the Ethernet cable, I think it's like $9 or something. I bought one. That's what I have hooked up. Earlier, I tried it without, and it was delayed. So, anyways, I just tell people too, I'm in a meeting. Hey, I'm in a meeting. I call you in an hour, or I can call you in an hour. I'm in a meeting, or I'm in a meeting. I'll be done in an hour. I'll call you right after. And most of the time, people are cool with it because it's like, oh, it's just 1 hour. I'm actually having lunch today with a friend slash mentor. And it's so funny because I tell her too, I go, just so you know, you're kind of my mentor. I'm like, "You're my unofficial mentor." She goes, "No, that's fine. Anytime you need anything, just let me know." With her, it's more out of respect, and we have a mutual understanding of our relationship where we we are open, we like no gatekeeping between us. She's a realtor in my market, but she is, I think it's like 6 or 8 6 years for, I don't know, maybe she's been in business for almost 9 for she has, like, 5 years more experience than me. So I look up to her in that sense, like, she's been through it all. She's really kicked butt, and she's a hard worker. She doesn't do cold calls, and she's really, really funny. She's like, "I will not make phone calls. I will never make phone calls." And she knows I do phone calls, and she's like, "All the power to you, Adela." Like, I'll just never do cold calls, and you have to it depends, on who you are, your personality, if you can handle cold calls. Some people refuse to, but I'm just so immune to it. I'm totally fine with doing cold calls. Actually, now that I look at this is pretty fast. I'm at 30 minutes of dialing, and I have 8 contacts. 6 of those 8 were already listed, which is huge. So, I'm kinda calling in the right area. Someone's about to pop off, and talking about popping off, I actually did a couple follow-ups yesterday because I knew I should have done it, like, Friday, but Friday, I think alright, so that's 9 with that guy. Did I mark him? Let's see. My minimum is 20, but since I'm behind, I was what, 13 contacts. So that's like I'm getting like these voicemails. I think I got to slow mojo down. It's kind of freaking out. Let's see how long we can keep going on this triple line. I want to say I probably just need an extra 2 conversations every day. So 22 to make up for the last couple weeks to be on target for the month of February since it's a short month. Oh, yeah, so I did some follow-ups yesterday actually, and it was pretty great, pretty great. So there's this one guy I'm following up with. I mean, I'm saying 4,000,000 as the house, but I could be wrong. It could probably be 5 or 6 or 7, I don't know, but I'm just treating I treat Yeah, I treat everyone the same regardless of price point in regard to like my marketing, my follow-ups. Once you're able to do that, I think you really like like whether, systems and processes, it all has to be the same. You can't say, "Oh, well, this one's more expensive, so I'm gonna have a completely different set of systems," and because otherwise you're gonna drive yourself crazy. Like, "Oh, it's a house, it's a townhouse, it's a condo, it's a duplex." Like, I'm gonna do everything different for everyone. Like, it's too much. You have to have one streamlined process. Um, and all of them always start with a handwritten note card. These are from Saturday, so I have to drop these off. Um, and like Bernie Kellerini says, you have to have conversations either with people who know you who you already are or people who don't know who you are yet and introduce yourself. So that's kind of what I'm doing. Answer. All right. Listen, at the end of the day, if I don't end up getting a lead today, that's okay because not every day do you end up with a lead because there's some days where you might end up with 3 leads, 4 leads, and it just kind of balances itself out. That's why I'm not too crazy hard on myself about leads. That's why my um, lead count is 25 for the month instead of 40 because I mean, what realtor wouldn't want 25 qualified seller leads in their own city? So that definitely adds up. Um, it's funny because I think so many realtors can lean on just like Facebook ads and Zillow ads and what Google pay-per-click ads and all these different marketing where you, at the end of the day, you're just getting a name and number, but you can already get that through Mojo in the neighborhood search. So why not just do that? You know, why not just call them? You're not having to pay extra. And then for what they end up ghosting you. I know somebody was like, I have 10,000 people in my system. I'm like, cool, I have 24,000. It doesn't matter. Next. Um, Planet. That's funny. Oh my god, I need to be wearing my glasses. What am I doing? I'm gonna end up having a migraine if I don't wear my glasses. Actually, I need to get a new pair. They're getting scratchy. Mm. Actually, another follow-up I did was if this gentleman out of Canada. Oh shit! Oh shit! I need to hang that one up. Another gentleman out of Canada. He left to take care of family situations, and I see from Zillow. Looks like he sold it Probably recently. Yeah. Oh my God, he sold it 3 weeks ago. Delete, next. I'm not gonna mark that as a contact, but I am at 10 in 40 minutes on the triple line dialer just to give you perspective. Because if you've been watching me for the last 6 weeks or anything, I've been toggling between single line dialer and double line. Next. That's when I kinda keep going, "Yeah, I just didn't know if you were thinking or planning about that in the future." No, no, if they just keep going with a no, 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 then okay, it's a no. But sometimes they'll kind of open up if you don't just immediately end the call. If you're like, "Yeah, no, not right now," or I just didn't know in like 3 years," and they'll go, "Well, in 3 years," or, "Well, actually, I was thinking in 5 because I'm gonna be retiring then," and it just kind of evolves. Um, their immediate excuse me, their immediate response is like, "No, I'm not selling, leave me alone." So you just have to kind of ease them into it. Sometimes if you just do this by yourself, it's like torture because that little brain in the back of your head just wants to hit the eject button all the time. Like, abort, abort, leave. This is boring. This is terrible. I don't want to do this. But just imagine yourself if you had a 9 to 5 job, somebody would be paying you hourly. Like, there's ISAs, which are called inside sales agents. They have to do this all day long for teams, and they only get paid less than an actual realtor does. So it's okay. Let's go ahead and keep dialing. Get another set of 50. Got to keep going. Oh, there we go. Shocking the amount of realtors are now helping people rent. Since the market shifted, they think it's just easier to get compensated. I can definitely tell you my number is not spam with so many people answering. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. 13 contacts in 54 minutes. I'll definitely be calling later again today. But I would say after this calling session is I have to respond to all these text messages that I have coming in. It's always good to click on the Zillow button if you don't already do that. Because you see all these for sale. There's so many that are under contract. Definitely an area to be calling. And she's for sale also. Wow. Make sure to like this and follow for more. Have a great day, guys. Bye.